Welcome back. Marie Kondo is taking the world by storm. She has us all in the mood to tidy up our homes. You organize your clothes, books, papers, and miscellaneous items first, then finish off with the more sentimental things. If it doesn't spark joy, you're supposed to get rid of it. But what happens when your mind and emotions are cluttered? Dr. Michelle Robin from Your Wellness Connection is here to help us clean our mental slate. So that's such an important topic to start with.
Well, I think as we feel like we need to free our space, it's a mind, body, spirit, and sometimes we can't tackle the physical clutter until we tackle the mental clutter. And so many times people are trapped in the past. There's a saying that if you are anxious, you're living in the future. If you have guilt, you're living in the past. So how do we move forward?
Well, that's so wise. And then what would you say to someone if they feel like they're trapped in the same place they were 10 years ago, sharing the same stories, voicing the same complaints, just really falling into that rut?
Well, I'd say shake it up.
Okay.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So we heard about maybe a vegan lifestyle. So could you shift your diet? Could you shift the music you're listening to, the friends you have, all those different things that keep you stuck in a rut? I
know, it's kind of like somebody brings up, this is what happened. It's if you don't change something, you're going to keep on seeing those same results.
Yeah, I'd say shake it up.
Okay. And then what about causing trouble sleeping? Does clutter actually get in the way of our ability to sleep?
Physical clutter does get in our way of being able to sleep. You know, you think about the people who do their laundry and they mean to put it away, but it sits in the basket until they just start pulling clothes out. Next thing you know, it's all dirty again. But also, too, the mental clutter and the technology clutter will keep us from having great sleep. Think about being in a hotel room where you don't have any of your stuff, and you can pull those dark curtains, and next thing you know, have a great night's sleep.
Okay, and then when we're actually feeling overwhelmed, overbooked, and maybe not living in the present moment, what are some things that we should do?
The number one thing is put yourself on your own calendar. So many times we see white space, so we fill it up, or our assistant fills it up, or our spouse fills it up, but how could you put yourself on your own schedule? Okay. And say no. When you say no to others, you say yes to yourself. And so be mindful of when you say yes.
Okay. And then if we're struggling, keeping a focus, we have a scattered mind, what are some different things that we could do?
Breathe.
Okay.
And really start to think about the things you're saying to yourself. I think we get trapped in old thoughts. And one of the questions I'd like to say to myself, is it really true? By a gal named Byron Katie. So if I'm thinking about maybe someone cancels a meeting, you start thinking, well, do they not like me? Why are they not returning my call? And so really ask yourself the question, is it really true?
That makes sense, because we really do want to have that sort of question, is this the reason why, or maybe was it something else?
Yeah, we're making stuff up in our mind, and it's not even true. People, you know, had a family member get sick and they've just been busy and they haven't been able to get back to you.
Right. And then are these all things that you touched on with either your own book or with Marie Kondo?
Yeah, Marie Kondo is truly taking the world by storm. I hear about her every single day from my clients, so she does a really great job of looking at the physical clutter. She talks a little bit different. I talk about small changes, big shifts. She says big change, big shift. And so it's two different philosophies, and it depends on where you're at in your own journey.
And then do a lot of people who maybe come to you having some issues when you're looking at their overall wellness, is clutter such a barrier?
You know, the biggest clutter really is the mind.
Oh.
So that's and plus the diet. And unfortunately, the mind and the diet go hand in hand. So if you have a cluttered diet where you're eating foods that don't help your brain function better, then you can't think the way you need to think. So they're married.
And how does that sort of circle back in with listening to your body?
Well, if you wake up in the morning and you don't feel great, you should ask yourself, gosh, what did I do yesterday? Who was I around? What did I eat? Did I actually take time to sleep? What did I watch on TV? What have I been playing with my devices? So really dial in and look at those gauges so that you can figure out how to have your best life and how you can have more joy in your life.
Okay, and it's time maybe to shake it up if you're not getting those results you want.
Yes, and those kids that are at home today, once they clean out their room, their parents will be really happy.
Oh,
create some joy for their parents.
Yes, thank you for that advice, Dr. Michelle. We will definitely take that. Bill?